part 2. Actually, we're headed down to the Arroyo Seco Parkway, also known as 110 Pasadena Freeway. Here you have the entrance. We're going southbound. I won't take you that far down, but you get an idea of the winding roads. At this time, obviously the population wasn't as great as it is now, so there's about 2 to 3 lane highway, which becomes very dangerous, especially nowadays when people speed. And the entrances and exits off this freeway, like I said, it was the first time they're experimenting with this type of highway. It's pretty dangerous. You always have to be careful. So we'll just take you down for a little bit. Now, what you probably couldn't see now, but if I continue further down, I might not be able to get the shot. There are a few Victorian homes that were built in the 19th century that still stand. As a kid, that's where they would have the arts and crafts festivals and showcase the Victorian era lifestyle, and they would do role play. And it was actually a lot of fun as a kid. I've always liked history and always liked essentially going back in time to revisit not only how people lived, but how the homes and how the lifestyle was at the time. So here, folks, here's the Arroyo Seco Pasadena Freeway. As I mentioned before, all this was inhabited by residents before they were kicked out. And we're going to exit here. This is Avenue 52. I grew up on Avenue 56, by the way. And so I'm going to show you something else that's pretty unique once we get there. Okay, folks, we're on York Boulevard again, and right in front of us you see that big, tall, tan building. If you recognize that, that is the LAPD station that you see in Penny Dreadful. It is also being used for a current Netflix miniseries called Hollywood. We'll take a drive by there, and I'll see if I can pull over somewhere and photograph it from the front. So here it is, folks, the LAPD station number 11. As you can see up there, see if I can zoom in, you'll see the writing on the building there. Now, this police station was erected in 1926 for the cost of $100,000. That's roughly about $1.5 million in today's money. I do remember as a child, they stopped utilizing this building in about 84, and so I remember as a kid this still being utilized, and they were phasing it out at the time, obviously. I can't imagine why it would cost so much, but it is a beautiful building. You see, if I point with my finger right there, that was the port that a lot of the motorcycle police used to drive up to. I remember that. And so it's an interesting building. For whatever reason, it's the last building that the LAPD has of its original department. Like I said, it was built in 1926. And that's right here in Highland Park, part of the LA area. And my city. This is where I grew up. Now I'm showing you the rocks, which the truck is blocking, but these rocks right there, where my finger's crossing. Now, the reason why I'm focusing on that was I did mention earlier that Jackson Browne's grandfather down Arroyo Seco Parkway on the 110 had a house made out of rocks. Now, those rocks, which look like river rocks, that house was made out of those type of rocks, and Unfortunately, I'm not able to get that right now, but just a little trivia there for you. One last look of the Highland Park LAPD station in 1926 was its original construction. Now I'm going to be heading out to Pasadena, and stay tuned for that next video. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to like and subscribe.